Hi everyone, this is Anthony Rees from Chef Software, and today we're going to take a look at running Chef InSpec on the AWS API and platform. Now, I get asked about this quite a lot. How do you run InSpec against the cloud platforms? So what I've done is I've gone and stood up using Terraform, gone and stood up some AMIs, some instances up in AWS. We've also got a VPC as well as some security groups, public IP addresses for each one of the machines that's running there. And what we're going to do now is we're actually going to, first of all, go and export that data across and put it into our terraform.json file. And once we've done that, we're then able to use InSpec to be able to parse in those Terraform attribute variables and literally use those in our InSpec test cases. So to be able to bring that in, essentially what we do is we export the output to a terraform.json file. And then what we can do is using InSpec, we then have the ability to be able to bring that in as a set of attributes, essentially. From the file, and using the file property, that is. And then we're able to query those. So you can see the first control that I've gone and built here is really about checking if the web server is actually running, what image ID is it using, what instance type. I've just hard-coded it here to a T2 micro for the example. We can check to see if the public address of the web server and what it equals to, what the VPC ID, the subnet, the security groups, etc. We can also then go and check the network as well, check and make sure that the VPC is actually available, go and check the availability zone and where it's located as well. And then we can go right down to the subnet and the security groups as well, making sure that they're existing and testing different areas of that. So how do we go and run that? Okay, well, let's take a look. So the first way that we can go and execute this is by being able to literally push it out against our command line. And we can do that very simply by executing the command inspec exec the inspec AWS security inspec profile that we want to execute, and then telling it the region and what the profile is that we want to be able to run against. So let's go and execute that. I'll get a couple of warnings I'd expect for some resources that are a little bit deprecated, and bang, there you see we're able to have executed it against the US West AWS target. We're able to have pulled back all of those test cases and check to make sure that they're correct. Now, what about if you want to be able to push that information through into the Chef Automate dashboard? Well, we can quite easily do that as well. Let's take a look at the syntax for this. So the syntax for that one, we need to now go and add a JSON configuration file, which I've also included in the code that I'm going to share with everyone, so that you can go and run this yourself if you want to. And essentially, it uses the reporter method to be able to push that into the demo environment that I've gone and created. You need to pass to it a token as well to be able to authorize yourself to go and send that request in. You'll need a node UID as well, because Chef Automate expects you to have a unique identifier. So let's go and test that out now. Once I go and execute that, again, I'll get a couple of those warning messages, but this time I'm not going to get any standard output to the CLI at this stage. It's simply going to complete. And if I go and take a look at my compliance dashboard here, I can see that we have a node. I can go and check that node, and there I can see the AWS API test cases. If I click on those AWS API test cases, I can see the two controls that I've gone and checked. And if I open up those controls, not only can I see the status of those controls and whether they passed or failed, but I can also go and check the source code. And there you go. You can see the source code matches inside the the Chef Automate dashboard, exactly the code that I went and wrote and I've run on my laptop here as the demonstration. Now, I'll share all of that code, and in the comments, I'll put links through into the Git repository for you to be able to play with this yourself. As always, if you've got any questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching.